Hey there, welcome to a brand new episode of Muzikxpress. My name is Twan, and in this week's vlog you will see my interview with Stuart, a.k.a. Lange, about his track Drifting Away. Enjoy! Drifting Away is a vocal trance track from the hands of UK-based DJ producer Stuart Langelaan. It came out in the year 2001 under the project name Lange. For this one, Stuart worked together with singer-songwriter Katie Marn, a.k.a. Skye. Drifting Away became a big success and it peaked at the number 9 position in the UK chart. For this week's vlog, I sat down with Stuart to ask him about the story behind Drifting Away. My first question to him was how he got to meet Skye.
Skye and the other writer, Danny Kirsch, they basically sent me the vocals. They hadn't. I know that Skye had other stuff out previously, but Danny, it was his first sort of song that was ever released actually, and they were very keen for me to do something, and I thought the vocal was great. It worked perfectly for what I wanted to do. So yeah, it was over email. Okay. In fact, I've never met the vocalist.
Like never?
Never met the vocalist.
Oh wow.
Now, because I should probably say, the person on Top of the Pops was actually a model we had to hire in because Skye wasn't available to front the project. So that's why, if anyone's wondering, how I managed to not meet her.
Okay. So the vocals for Drifting Away were done already. But what else can you tell us from the production process of the track?
From what I remember, most of the sounds came from the Access for RSB, which I have over here. And yeah, all the lead sounds and a lot of the effects were from that.
Okay. So the track has a pretty epic bass line. Can you explain how you made that one?
Good grief, I don't know. It's a bit full on, isn't it? Again, I think it was the Access for RSB, and yeah, it's quite a hard track to mix actually. I have to say, because of that bass line.
Do you remember how long did it take you to finish the track?
Probably a long time, knowing me. I do take a long time on certain tracks. I think I probably had most of the elements, the main elements pretty quickly, but I am a bit guilty of not getting around to properly finishing the arrangement. So it may have taken 2 weeks or 4 weeks, maybe.
So Drifting Away was the first Lange release on VC Recordings, a sub-label of Virgin Records. Why did you decide to release this on another label instead of Positiva, for example?
Yeah, they asked me that too. I think it was... I actually can't really remember. I think it was because the advance for my single, and this is a terrible answer, but I'm going to tell it and I'm going to be honest. I think we got a better offer, much better offer from VC, so we went with them, and they were very excited about the track. So.
Okay. So the track made it to the number 9 position of the UK charts. Do you remember how and when you found out it was a top 10 hit?
I can't remember where I was, but I was ecstatic. I mean, you've got to remember this was trance had been quite big in the UK for some time. This was almost getting to the tail end of it, and so I feel I was very lucky to have a hit I could call my own before it faded away from the commercial side. So it was an absolutely amazing time, as you can probably imagine.
Yeah. So has Drifting Away been your biggest chart success so far?
Yes, yeah, definitely. I mean, I've had a remix higher. I'd say probably Protect Your Mind is a bigger track, but probably doesn't get played nearly as much at classic events these days.
Do you have any idea how many copies have been sold of Drifting Away?
I think it's around 400,000. That's what that disc says up there anyway.
Okay.
And I'm standing by that.
So yeah, you already mentioned the performance of Top of the Pops, where Drifting Away got introduced by no one else than Britney Spears. That must have been a cool experience.
Yeah, that was quite funny actually. I didn't realise that Britney had done the intro until I watched it on the Friday night on TV. I mean, I didn't get to meet Britney properly there, although she walked past myself and songwriter Danny, and it was quite funny because she had like the most gigantic bouncer I've ever seen, and this guy was going, get out of the way, and me and Danny were like, don't they know who we are? But it was a great experience being at Top of the Pops, and I think Pink was there as well. I did meet Pink.
Okay, cool. So were there any more live shows or performances around that time for the track?
Yeah, I did the Pepsi chart as well. The Pepsi chart show, that was another biggie. I didn't go and PA it or anything though particularly. I think I might have done one or two.
Okay. So there are also some really cool remixes of the track by people such as Kansas, Beam vs. Cyrus, and Hiver and Hammer, for example. What is your favorite version yourself?
I really like the Hiver and Hammer mix. I have to say, from a DJing point of view, I don't think I've ever played the original mix out once. I always used to go for the Sunset dub mix, which I preferred. I've since added vocals for some of my classic gigs, so it's got the vocal on as well. But yeah, it's a bit bizarre that I've not played the original. But the Hiver and Hammer for me was the best.
Yeah. They did some really good stuff back then.
Yeah, amazing.
So did you choose the remixes, or was it always done by the label?
Some of the suggestions came from the label. Maybe Hiver and Hammer was my suggestion. But yeah, it was a combination, really. Yeah.
So if someone could do a new remix of the track, who would you pick and why?
I would probably pick Armin van Buuren because it will sell a lot of copies.
So Drifting Away is from 2001, but it still sounds fresh and it still gets played pretty often. What do you think that made this track so special that people still play it?
It's just got a nice vibe, I think. I can see why it worked now as a radio single, probably more now than I realised at the time, just because it really works. It works better as a 3.5 minute kind of pop tune. I mean, that's what it is. It's a bit of fun. And yeah, I just think it's a great vibe. There's not so many tracks these days that have that kind of feeling. So I think that, it fills a space.
So how do you feel about your older tracks? Do you still love the sound you created back then?
Yeah, I do. I mean, it's not something I've continued, as you know. I haven't really made that kind of sound from the '99 time, since. So I look back at it in a more reminiscent way. But things like, for example, Drifting Away and Happiness Happening, I can see that I do appreciate what they were for what they were, but it was just a period of time for me, and I forgot what was the question again.
So from all of your own productions, which one would be your absolute favorite and why?
Probably Angel Falls. I remember when I made Angel Falls not being happy with it at all, in fact shelving it, thinking it wasn't very good. But now look back at it now, the way the track evolves, etc., it's probably one of my best ones, so glad I didn't give up with it. Yeah, so Angel Falls, maybe my remix of Happiness Happening as well, and Brainchild Symmetry C.
Yeah.
If we're talking about the older ones, yeah.
So what is the highlight of your career so far?
Being able to make music as a career, that's what I'm very, very grateful for. So to pick one thing, I probably wouldn't want to. There's been moments, milestones along the way, some of the big gigs I've done, and some of the random things like going on Top of the Pops, etc., which wasn't the most enjoyable experience for me, just because I was very shy back then. But they're all milestones, they're all great, but ultimately it's being able to do this as a career, and the support I've been given, it's been amazing.
So is there any advice you would give young producers who just start with making music?
It's difficult. It's such a different playing field now for the producers. I feel for them. It's so difficult now, especially with it being so difficult to make any money out of it. So that really restricts you. But people do it. People break through. And my advice would be just keep believing. If you've got that drive and you want to do it, you've got equal chance to everybody else.
Well, once again, thank you very much for your time.
A pleasure. Thanks very much.
Alright, that was it, this week's vlog. My interview with Stuart, a.k.a. Lange, about his classic Drifting Away. Stuart, thank you very much for your time. Much appreciated. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed the vlog. If you did, make sure to give this video a like, leave a comment in the comment section below, and make sure to subscribe. Plus, I did another interview with Stuart, and in that interview we discussed the Lange classic Follow Me. You can already find that one on my channel, so make sure to check it out. Once again, thanks for watching, and until next time, bye bye!